The new owners of the SA Agulhus, JS Maritime, have confirmed that they will indeed continue with training by using the SA Agulhus, of course, South Africa's first polar research and supply vessel. Today sees the official handing over from SAMSA to the new company. But of course, those interested in the maritime fields are also participating in the festivities here today. I'm joined now by Mr. Odwa Mtati. He is the CEO of the South African International Maritime Institute. Mr. Mtati, a very warm good day to you. As someone in the training arena, the sale of the SA Agulhus not really concerning to you, because we understand that this vessel will still be used in training. It will still be based in Cape Town and it will still fly under the South African flag. Your views on this transaction?
No, we appreciate the opportunity. We are the coordinator of the National Sea Cadetship program in the country. We've got about 419 active at the particular moment. So for us, the fact that it is retained in the country affords, some of those learners an opportunity to be trained, and then secondly to find employment, because the critical part is for people not just to be trained, but for them to be afforded employment opportunities. And this is what is critical for us, is to ensure that not only are people trained, but they are afforded, an opportunity of employment.
You talk about training, sir. We know that, for example, seafarers or those who are training to become seafarers will, of course, need time out at sea. What does the course entail? How many courses are there? Because I'm sure that there would also be training in terms of, the people that would end up working on repairs of the vessels, maintenance, etc. So what kind of training do you offer?
No, we don't offer it ourselves. We coordinate the program. There are 3 institutions in the country that offer the actual training. One, it is Mandela University. 2, it is the Peninsula University of Technology. And then it is the Durban University of Technology. So on behalf of DHET and funded by the National Skills Fund, we coordinate that. So ours is to raise maritime awareness. That's why we have got a program called Dive in which we encourage learners from a younger age to have access to it, so that they can have sight of the possibilities of opportunities within the sector itself, so that by the time they get to high school, at least there's some level of awareness of those possibilities. We've worked with the likes of the Law Hill, of the learners behind me, wherein we've promoted the curriculum development for both maritime economics as well as nautical sciences as part of the overall effort at maritime awareness, so that by the time they get to university, at least they are well aware of what is contained. So it is those 3 universities at the moment, and we are trying to ensure that for the other sub-disciplines, TVET colleges also are afforded an opportunity as well.
Mr. Odwa Mtati, thank you so much for speaking to, of course, there, explaining to us about the coordination of the cadet program and saying that over 400 students are part of that program from the various universities. Actually, you also mentioned a dedicated school in Simonstown. I'm going to bring in some of those students right now, if you're okay joining me. I see quite a number of you. You're from Law Hill Maritime Centre, so you can just tell me your name, Kokanya. Let's start with you. Good morning. You told me earlier on that you've come here today, your teachers brought you here for you to have a look-see firsthand, what the SA Agulhus is all about, to learn more about the maritime industry. But of course, your school is focused on maritime studies. Talk to us a bit about why maritime. How did you end up with a love and interest for all things shipping and maritime?
So, I was in a school named Molly Blackburn, and then my teacher offered me a bursary to Cape Town, and I applied for it, and then I did my research on what the maritime industry does, and ever since then I've always had the love for the maritime industry, and that's how I found out.
What subjects do you take, and where do you think you'll end up within the industry, within the space itself?
I take maritime economics, I take nautical sciences and marine sciences, ma'am. And I would like to be an officer, ma'am. But then also in the future, maybe in 2 or 3 years later, I want to study marine marine biology. So yeah, that's what.
Aspiring marine biologist, of course. Thank you so much for speaking to me, Kwakanya. Let me speak to Mr. Kushle. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes,
Mr. Kushle, so we've got an aspiring marine biologist. You're interested in the maritime studies.
So for me personally, I don't want to actually limit myself to one thing. So I actually want to travel the world. So firstly, I like to go on a ship and just go and see the world around first. And then like afterwards, for a certain amount of time, you get, to an age whereby you can't be on the ship anymore. So I'd like to come back and work in the harbor operations or something like that.
Thank you so much for speaking to me. Of course, just two of the students there from Law Hill Maritime Centre out in Simonstown coming here today as the SA Agulhus, over 40 years of service to South Africa as a polar research as well as supply vessel, now of course in the hands of a German company, JS Maritime. Then also the CEO telling us early on that training of young people such as these will continue. They of course are committed to those training programs and training new seafarers and those in the maritime space.